G'day guys, welcome back to another series of U-Boat. We are now on board U-96. The last save game that I was playing, I was having some issues with. Some glitch in the game where my submarine would no longer go under the waves, even though it was saying that we were at periscope depth or 100 meters, whatever you want to choose. It would say we were under the water, but we were actually on the surface. So we are starting a new series now on U-96, so hopefully it's going to be a good one. We're off out on our first patrol. We're somewhere out in the Atlantic, somewhere just outside the Bay of Biscay and the Celtic Sea, and we are heading to the patrol sector, and we are going to go and see if we can make off to a good start today. So leave a like and a comment on the video. It's the first one of the series and it really does help the channel get some views if you do that. So let's stay tuned and enjoy the episode. So here we are then. We're just somewhere in the Atlantic off the Bay of Biscay and the Celtic Sea, and we've come out of the port of La Rochelle, and we are going to go just slightly to the west here where we're going to begin our hunt. Well, that's where we've got to do our kilometers anyway, but we will get and see if we can do anything in between here and there. That would be great. Obviously we're starting again from scratch. We have no snorkel, we have 0 upgrades. So it's all going to be a little bit of a tough start, but let's get down into the water and we can chuck on the hydrophone and hopefully we'll pick something up here before we get to the patrol sector. Now here we go, straight away. Is that? Yeah. There's two single merchants. Oh, here's one of the contacts. It's a Liberty, so we can deck gun this thing. And the other ship was a C3 cargo, and she was doing 18 knots. And 18 knots, we were not able to catch up with her, so she is going on her way. So we'll just use the deck gun here, and we'll damage this thing down to the bottom, and then we'll get back out there on patrol. There we have it. There's our first ship down on the new boat. U-96 has sunk an Empire for around about 4,000 tons, maybe just a little bit more. But we're off to a good start. We haven't had to use any torpedoes just yet. Hopefully we'll find ourselves a nice big convoy that we can use some convoys with though. Some torpedoes, sorry. But there we go. We're off to a flyer. It's always good to get your first one down. And there she goes. So we shall continue on towards the patrol sector. Actually, we may as well try and pick ourselves up an officer or captain here if we can. The SS Perry James is around about again, seen her in every campaign many times. I think that must be the C3 that was charging on ahead. But we are going to get back out. We'll get out on patrol and get on the hydrophone and see if we can find ourselves some contact. Ah, finally we have some contact. We've been patrolling the area a little bit. Got ourselves a nice large convoy here by the looks of things, so we better start plotting an interception course and tracking. We don't have the snorkel obviously on board, and we're running low on oxygen and the electric batteries, so we'll draw a line through here and we will surface up the ship. I did not mean to click there, and that is definitely not the line that we drew, but we will draw that line and we'll surface the ship up, and we will go and try and get ahead of it and intercept it a little bit further down the way. Enough time for us to replenish the electric batteries. So we will boost on forwards ahead and surface up and switch to the diesels. And we should have hopefully full power by the time we get there. Yeah, we will easily. And we'll get that guy resting up as well, just so we can be fresh when we get there. What's this? We've got a important message. A very valuable radar prototype is being transported. Oh, that's handy. So we may have to leave this convoy behind and go and try and find this one. Oh no, it's it's part of the same convoy. Well, it's convenient. Well, we will intercept them and we will see if we can take out the target straight away or if we have to deal with some destroyers first. So here we are. We have a lead destroyer. Hopefully we can avoid that, but we will use this guy to pick up the direction of travel for the convoy. So we'll just use our protractor north to south and around to the line. Yeah, around about 83 degrees. So if we can, we'll avoid the destroyer, but it looks like there's not really much else right in front of us at this stage. We'll chuck the red lights on just so we can see better. Looks like it's absolutely, I don't know if that's raining or snowing or sleet. Probably a bit of sleet, but I think maybe we'll go for the destroyer, just get it out of the way, and that might open up the rest of the convoy. Hopefully there's not too many escorts in this convoy, because it would be nice to take down quite a few. Being our first patrol, we of course want to do well. So we'll chuck 83 into there, and we need to go to destroyers. Now, what kind of destroyer is this? It's got a large flagpole and a smaller flagpole at the front, one funnel. It's kind of got a very small bridge. Is it one of those? No, that's got two funnels. What is it? A little bit tricky to... I'm not even that rusty on the game. I've only been not playing it for a couple of days. So we'll just keep brushing on through. So it's definitely not none of these. So let's go back to our destroyers. Back to the front. It is a Black Swan. Okay, well let's do a quick speed check. Let's get the clock started and see what the convoy are doing. And we'll stop the clock right there. 6 knots, perfect speed for an attack, just as usual. And we just need to do a quick distance check to see what if she's within range. I hope she is by now. She does look pretty far away. We are fully zoomed in, but we will have a quick look, and hopefully she is by now. She's a little bit over, but we can let her move in. But that's alright. There's a target here. Is this our target ship? So we're actually looking for the SS Perry James Tice, which is the same name as the C3 that was cruising past us earlier. Obviously not part of the same convoy, so it is quite sad to see that there's so many of the same C3. I don't know if that's actually something that would have been in the real life, but it is what it is in game. So we'll move forward, and this ship is obviously moving forward at the same time. So another quick distance check. It should be within range by now. It's still slightly over, but by the time we fire it, it's probably going to lose that extra 100 meters or so. So hopefully one torpedo should take the destroyer away. We don't want to waste all of them on destroyers. So we're just going to send one tube, fire it away. Right, there we go. Good strike. First torpedo of the campaign. So good to get a hit there. Nice fire on the deck. And damage wise, not too bad. About 60-70% there. Hopefully she'll go down. It is a bit risky just sending one torpedo away at a destroyer. And because we don't have the snorkel, it makes getting away a little bit more risky. So we're actually... oh, she's going to go down. That's great news. Or sit dead in the water. So yeah, it does make it a little bit risky getting away from the convoy, especially once the other escorts start chasing us down. So we're going to have to go out wide and intercept them a little bit further back up the line again. But I don't mind doing that for the first 2 or 3 patrols, just until we get our snorkel. But there we go, we've got a destroyer down, and that's going to open up the convoy for us to come in for another good attack here in just a few minutes. Alright, it is daytime now, and we are back with them, and we have another destroyer on the outside of the convoy, and there's a couple more corvettes and maybe one more destroyer in here with them. But if I can get this one out of the way, and then I can try and get to the other side of the convoy again, then we should be pretty much open for some torpedo action. I've been looking through the contacts, and most of them are just Empires. So I will just use torpedoes to take out the destroyers, and the rest of it, other than the SS Perry James, which looks to be a C3, we will use the deck gun for most of the others. But we definitely want to torpedo the destroyers, maybe 1 or 2 of the corvettes, and definitely the C3, so we should use up the majority of the torpedoes. But we can, if we can get rid of everything, then we can deck gun everything else, all the Empires, because they will not be armed with anything. But we obviously need to be careful with what we're doing. So why can't I recognize these ships today? I'm really really not that out of practice. Doesn't help when you're looking at it. It's kind of a back to front picture that we're looking at compared to what's in the periscope. V-class. Yeah, I'll go V-class. It looks exactly like a V-class. Perfect. So now, speed checks. Hopefully they're doing their 6 knots again, but we'll find out just in a sec. And we'll stop the clock right there. 6 knots. Perfect. Now, just the distance. If she's within 5,000, which she is, she's good to go. So 1 torpedo again. Hopefully it's going to be enough. Hopefully just a repeat of last time. And that's going to open up a lot more doors for us. So fire it away. And there we go. 2 hits today from 2 launchers. So we're pretty happy with that. Nice fire on there. Big black hole in the middle of it. Fires on the front and in the middle. And she does not look good. She's going straight down. Perfect. So a little bit of a repeat of 4. We'll hang out wide, surface up the boat, make sure that we've got the air supply that we're going to need and the electric engines, and then we'll be coming in for another attack very soon. Just need to maybe see if what we're going to be attacking at that time. Hopefully it's going to be the SS Perry James Tice. Okay, we're back with them, and we have the SS Perry James here. I've been checking, probably checked it 3 times now, and she was speeding just a little bit too much for us. She says 7 knots, but I'm fully thinking that they're doing 6. So we're just going to check everything again, and by now they should definitely be doing 6 knots, and if it still says 7, then we'll go for the attack. But let's have a look. And stopping the clock, yeah, 6 knots, just what I thought. And 2 torpedoes for this guy, because we need to make sure that we sink it. Should really launch 3, but I think 2 might be enough, so let's have a look and see what's going to happen. So tube 2 and 3 towards the SS Perry James Tice. Okay, very successful today. We're 4 hits from 4. Can't argue with that. And damage-wise, not quite as much as I was hoping for there, to be honest. And the fire is not very large, but the bridge is on fire. So hopefully that's going to kick them out of the engine room and stop them from driving the ship. And as you can see in the background there, we've got a Corvette putting his lights on, trying to find us. So we'll keep an eye on this SS Perry James here and see if she's going to do the business and go down. Yeah, that damage is getting worse. It's all about the flooding though, really, with the C3s, but she is definitely going to be dead in the water. So if she doesn't go down, we'll come back, but hopefully she does. And in the meantime, we're going to need to think about evading that Corvette. I think there's 1 or 2 Corvettes in here and 1 more destroyer. So if we can get rid of the Corvette or the destroyer, that will certainly make things a lot easier. But it looks like the flooding is going to be the issue on the Perry James here. So we are going to need to try and evade. We've got this thing coming. Yeah, so that's a town class, I believe. So let's try and push ourselves through the middle of the convoy, get away from that, and we'll keep an eye on the Perry James while we do it. That flooding is not really going anywhere, maybe trickling a little bit down, but we will make sure that we dive down deep, cruise on nice and slowly. They have changed course ever so slightly, but it's no big deal, so we'll use some time. Now, always best to just stop and put the blue light on when you've got destroyers like this coming right over the top of you. There's no way we can get away from it. It's going to start using sonar, but if it starts dropping depth charges, then we'll put the engines on full tip, try and get out of there safely. We don't want to die on the first episode, that's for sure. So hopefully we are going to remain undetected here, and they will just keep cruising on around us. But we can just extend that line for the convoy. And I'll leave some marks here for Perry James, and we'll try and come back if we start moving forward. Looks like they're searching the wrong area, which is good. Perry James is still sitting there alive. This is panic stations now. We've got a destroyer very close to us, but it looks like it's going to move on and stay away from us, which is great. So we'll go out wide again, charge up the batteries in the air, and we'll come in for another attack very soon, probably on that destroyer. Alright, we're back with them, so let's have a look. We've been chasing these guys through day and night now, as you can see. So that's a Corvette. We don't want to tickle with that just yet. We want to make sure we get the big guy out the way. So there's a big destroyer, looks like a town class to me, if my memory serves right. So let's just have a quick look. That's a county class. That's the only ship that's got 4 funnels, I think. That one's got 3. Yeah, there we go, town class. Course has changed up to 39 degrees. And we'll do a quick speed check, and if she's doing 6, then we're going for it straight away. So let's get started. Okay, and we'll stop the clock right about there. I think that was right. Quite hard to tell with these waves, especially trying to get this distance. So 1 torpedo. Hopefully will be enough again to do the job. We'll save the rest in case we find any big ships. But let's see how well we're going to do here. Hopefully we're going to be 5 from 5. Fire it away. Right, there we go. 100% fire rate record so far. Let's see how long we can keep that up. Hopefully forever. Can never be sure though, but she is blazing up hard. So hopefully that'll be the end of her. Now we do have a Corvette as well. Yeah, the damage is critical here. And she is straight down, which is good news. Yeah, so the Corvette is the only other concern, which is not far behind us. And the rest of the convoy are kind of steaming on ahead from it. So either we steam on ahead or we try and torpedo it. Probably go for a quick torpedo to see if we can get rid of it easily. Otherwise it's just going to be a struggle to try and have surface engagements with everything else. But we'll clean up the map, let's get on with it, let them all calm down, and we'll see if we can get an attack on this Corvette here. Okay, we've had a few failed attempts at torpedoing this Corvette, so I'm going to try something a little bit risky here. I'm going to surface up and I'm going to try and deck gun it from where we are. We are far enough away from it that I don't think their guns are going to be too accurate, but that also means that my shooting might not be very accurate, especially with this swell out here. Look at this. But we will go for it. We will try our best. If we can get 3 good hits, I think we can probably do enough damage to sink it, but we're going to have to keep going. And we'll just keep plugging away. Hopefully her shots are not going to be accurate and we can just get the job done here. If not, we've put ourselves in a very bad situation. Okay. Oh wow, there we go. I was not expecting that. She has gone down straight away. I said 2 or 3 hits would be good, and I think we must have got that, so that's perfect. Well, there we go, we got rid of one, we're on to the next, and it's just going to be a case of driving right up behind each and every one of them and using the deck gun. And the only thing we need to be careful of is that we don't run out of ammunition. We need to keep at least sort of 3 or 4 shots for the C3 cargo that's still sitting out there. We need to make sure that we can sink that. So let's get on to that. Well, this is really like just shooting fish in a barrel here. This is nice and easy. It does saves us using torpedoes and worrying about destroyers and all the rest of it coming our way. And the only thing that we have to make sure we do is sink the C3, but all of these little ships here, they are good for tonnage. So that's 2 of them down. Now I think there's going to be a couple more. There is 1 Norwegian ship in here though, can't be attacking that, not at this stage. Or any stage actually, but that is good to see, and we will load up with the rest of the crew here. Can't find any more officers, so we'll just take what we can so we can get extra credit when we get back to the port, and we will head up to join the rest of them and pick apart the rest of what's here. I think this Norwegian ship, yeah, I think that's the Norwegian ship right here, yeah. So we'll leave that and we'll catch up to these other 2 or 3 ships here and we'll just continue the punishment. We're off to a great start, I feel. There we go, another one down, and can't load up the lifeboats. I think there's 1 more or 2 more, so we'll just cruise right on over, get in the face of it and shoot it up. It's just as easy as that. These guys have absolutely had their asses handed to them today. So we'll take a few shots and get this guy down, and that's going to be a whole convoy eliminated. Well, there we go. The damage is done. Don't want to use any more of the deck gun ammo. We've got 3 shots left. That's all we have to sink the C3. And if that's not enough, it's going to be a job for the flat gun, which we will use here, just to make sure that this Empire does go down. Hopefully it's not going to take 1,000 bullets to do that. But we will just make sure we seal the deal here and get that tonnage into the tally. Conning tower's in the way a little bit, but shouldn't take too many shots, and hopefully that's going to be enough. Looks like the flooding is taking over. Can always put a couple more in if we need to, but that was nice and easy actually. That ship is sinking, so that is a whole convoy. Everything except the Norwegian has been taken down, so let's celebrate. Shoot the moon. Absolutely brilliant. And we will have to head back and find that C3 and just make sure we finish up the job there. But that is not a bad first patrol, I would say. First time out. No snorkel. Only got the T1s and a couple of T2 torpedoes. Let's clean the map up. Let's go and do the job with the C3 cargo, and we'll finish up our patrol. And then we're on our way back to home. And hopefully by the time we get home we might be able to get some research on and get a snorkel for the next one. That would be ideal if we can. Well, hopefully that's done the damage. We're out of ammo on the deck gun now, so let's just watch her and see what's going to happen. We could use the flat gun if needed. Hopefully it's not though, but yeah, it's not. We didn't need it. But we will send a few shots anyway, just target practice. Just why not? Captain's had a good day, let's get some shots away. Well, there we have it. She is going off down to the bottom. We've still got to go out and do our patrol, so there is the possibility that we may find other ships out there. So we'll get our guy here to send some messages away. Done the job. That's what they wanted us to do. And we'll go and do our kilometers. If we find another Empire or so, then that would be great, but not really fussed if we don't. We've taken down an entire convoy. So all good news. And there we have it. 37,000 tons sunk out here today, and that is pretty decent going by my standards, I think. And we are back, and we get second Iron Cross second class. Well, we actually got 3 medals there, and a little bit towards the 4th, so we did very well. The happy time, 37,000 is it? Nearly 38,000, not too bad at all. Would like to get that up to the full 200,000-300,000 mark if we can eventually. I reckon we can. Here's a little list of everything we've sunk. It says Perry James. So how many ships did we actually sink? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 ships all up. And we did all the missions. So a very good outing today. Well, there we have it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do leave a like and a comment on the video. It's the first of the series and it does help big time. So hopefully you like that, and if we can carry on the campaign as we did there today, then it's going to be a killer campaign. So for now, going to try and get off, see if we can get an upgrade or 2 on the ship, but if we can't, we'll get refueled and reload all the torpedoes, and we'll be back out there next week hunting more ships. I'll see you next time.